Welcome to a quick guide to National 5 drama. The National 5 drama exam has two parts, a written exam worth 40% and a practical exam worth 60%. In the written exam, students will answer a question paper of 60 marks. This is then adjusted to be worth 40% of the total assessment. The question paper is divided into two sections. Section 1, which is worth 20 marks, and the questions in this are based on a performance the students have taken during the drama course. They usually use their acting piece to answer this, though they cannot use other things. Section 2 is worth 40 marks, and students choose from a choice of 3 different stimulus and attempt all questions based on that. So they are making up that piece of drama at the time and then answering questions on that. This shows their understanding of the drama process. The written exam lasts an hour and a half. Typical questions for Section 1 ask about the audience. So, for example, identify 2 different feelings of emotions you wanted the audience to have when watching your drama, and at what 2 points in your drama did you want the audience to experience these feelings and emotions. Questions are quite often linked. So, the follow-on to the previous question asks what they would have done as an actor to help create those feelings and emotions. So we would comment on characterization and performance concepts. Performance concepts is a collection of ideas how they would play the part. For example, their use of voice, movement, props, and costume. In Section 2 of the written exam, students have a choice of 3 different stimuli to base their answers on. This is usually an image, such as a photograph, a short piece of script or a poem, and usually something like a saying. The idea of Section 2 is that the student takes the stimulus and then comes up with a piece of drama that would be capable of being performed in a drama classroom. So we have to think about characterization, which is the development and portrayal of characters, performance or design concepts, how we'd actually perform the piece of drama, and design concepts would take into account lighting, sound, costume, and set design. The style, genre, form of the drama, so for example, is it a comedy? Is it a tragedy? The form is usually done as a play, the setting where the drama takes place, as in this, the drama takes place in an old folks' home, okay, or the drama takes place in a war or something like that. We also like about staging and venue, themes and issues and message. So staging is the relationship between the actors and the audience. The venue would be where it would take place. Would it be performed in a drama classroom? Would it be performed on the stage in the forum? The themes and issues are what is the drama looking at? Is it looking at friendship? Is it looking at betrayal? Is it looking at kind of serious illnesses? And the message might be something like, don't bully. Mood and atmosphere, how that would be created using lighting, sound, and acting. And the target audience. Who would be the best people to watch this drama? Who's it aimed at? Target audiences are always positive. You aim at an audience, not saying, oh, this is for younger children because older people would be bored. You would say this is for younger children because the humour would appeal to them. Example questions for Section 2 might be about character. So we'd ask to outline a character you want your target audience to feel strongly about, and then justify, which means say why we chose that particular character. Then explain why the target audience would react to this character. You might refer to their personality, the purpose of them being the drama, the relationship to other characters, and again saying why. We then be perhaps asked to choose and describe an important moment in the drama when this character appears. So we'll be asked to describe the moment and also say why that was an important moment. We could also well be asked about what the character is like and then how somebody would act like that character. So again, they'll be using a description of their voice and movement and using the correct drama terms. Another common question is about mood and atmosphere. Sometimes I've asked about the overall mood and atmosphere. Sometimes I've asked about the mood and atmosphere in the opening scene, an important scene, or the ending of a drama. And again, you have to describe what that mood and atmosphere is and why. Then they're usually asked about how they would help to create that. The production skills are things like lighting, sound, costume, makeup, set, and props. The practical exam for drama is worth 60% of the total marks. The practical exam takes place before the written exam diets, usually from the middle of February to March. It's negotiated with the visiting examiner when exactly the performance takes place. It has two sections, performance and a small report called a preparation for performance. The actual performance itself is worth 50 marks and there's 10 marks for the prep. Most people choose to act. When they're acting, they're expected to perform a role to a live audience and communicate the understanding of that role and contribute to the performance. They'll be taking part in performing an extract from a published play. We have been selecting the plays at the moment. The extract will be a minimum of 10 minutes and a maximum of 50 minutes. The 50 marks are available for the performance. The marks are divided into different areas. There are 10 marks available for how we communicate their understanding of the character using textual clues, i.e. what the playwright has written. There are 10 marks for remembering the lines and the cues of when to come in, when to do different things, for keeping in character and interacting with other characters. There are 10 marks available for use of voice. For example, do we have an accent and do we maintain that accent? Their tone of voice to show emotion, their register to show their status in the scene. 10 marks available for movement, which is to do with facial expressions, body language, posture, gesture, eye contact and use of space. And 10 marks for impact on the audience. So if they're doing a comedy, have they had the audience smiling and laughing? Before they perform, they have created what's called a preparation for performance. This is a very short, approximately 400 words essay on how they prepared. Okay, in this they have to show research into their text, their thoughts and ideas for proposed performance, and then the development of that into their final ideas. The examiner reads a prep performance before they watch the performance. The prep performance can be edited and re-edited many times before they actually get handed in. So this is a good chance to earn 10 marks. So, what can you do to encourage your child to do well in their drama exam? You should check that homework is being completed. After October holidays, there will be written homework set once a week. This will be approximately 20 minutes to half an hour. Okay, this will be mainly based on the written exam, but sort of a little and often will ensure that they are capable of doing well in exam. Make sure that they're making notes. This will help with their prep for performance. Once they have selected the text they're going to be performing, make sure that they know that text well. Okay, you could read it with them. Okay, actors, you can help them learn the lines. Well, on the next page we'll go on a wee bit about line learning. If your son or daughter has decided that they don't want to act and they're going to be a designer, then they have to have a progression of ideas. We cannot just come up with final ideas. We have to start off with the initial thoughts and take it through from what we intended to do, why we picked this, and so on and so forth. This is more complicated, so this is one of the reasons why we encourage people to be actors instead. When it comes to learning lines, different people work in different ways. The main thing to remember is not to try and learn it all at once. One of my lecturers at college used to say it's like eating an elephant. You wouldn't try to do it all at one time, do it in small bites. So they might copy lines out onto study cards. They might record the lines and then play them back. They might copy lines out. They might practice, perhaps getting you to read in like the other person's lines so that we get a chance to record. Again, rather than sitting down and spending an hour on a Friday night trying to learn the lines, it'd be much better spending 10 minutes Monday to Friday in doing that, and that would actually have a more beneficial effect. If you have any problems with anything or any questions, feel free to ask myself or Mrs. Thompson, and we'll do our best to help you out. Thank you for listening.